What are your goals and expectations for the upcoming season?
Our goals are always to be in the playoffs. I think we've set a standard where if we don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointing year. Last year was a top 3 finish, so this year 1 or 2 would be great, but I think top 4, get a home game for the playoffs is always a kind of a standard goal. And then kind of once we see how the team's kind of playing throughout the season, maybe we start to change that and adapt it as we get closer to the conference play and playoff time. But we expect to compete for conference championships, so that's always our goal.
And who are the key losses from last year?
Well, we had a small senior class, but I thought they had some pretty good leadership qualities. So Brian Whitmore, Brian Lentini, Joe Clark are all guys that had been with me for a while. We had just Brandon Lutz only played 1 year last year, but he brought a little something different to the program, former lacrosse player. And then we've had 2 guys not returning to our defense, which was top rated last year, that we weren't expecting to lose. And those are kind of be some pieces we're going to have to kind of hopefully fill in for this year with either returning players or some incoming players. But not too much lost. I think we've got a pretty good nucleus to build around going forward.
And who are your key returners?
Well, our captain, Mitchell Muse, will be back, senior center back. Our goalkeeper, Hassan Mustafa, first team all-conference as a sophomore. Nabai Tesfu was our leading scorer, so he's coming back. And then a couple of guys that played some pretty significant minutes. Chris Herbert will be back in the midfield, maybe a little defense this year. John Lippett was one of our top recruits 2 years ago, but he's been out with injuries for 2 years. We're hoping to get him back into form that he had in high school and be a major contributor. That would really boost our midfield if he's healthy and ready to go.
And who are your key newcomers?
We had a pretty good recruiting class. Most of it was focused on the offense this year. I think we've got a couple of guys that can play target forward, Carvel Akufo and Guy Nabo. Our midfield should be bolstered with Kelvin Tata, Serene Guillet, KJ Davis, Elliot Quinteros. And then we've got a couple guys in the back. We do have a former Division I transfer, Eric Casterline, coming to play right back hopefully for us. And Sergio Gomez and another goalkeeper, hopefully to be the heir apparent to Hassan when he's all said and done. And I think it's a good class, and I think hopefully the offense will start to pick up a little bit with these new guys coming in.
And what are your thoughts on your schedule, both non-conference and CAC?
Our non-conference is good. I mean, it's not the toughest schedule in the world, but it's a good non-conference schedule. I think part of it is some of those regional games we have to play during the week, and we try to keep within a normal driving distance, so it kind of limits who we get to play sometimes. But we do have some quality opponents like Johns Hopkins, and we'll play Centenary and Bridgewater throughout the season, and then a couple more of the local teams like Altoona and Bethany and Washington and Jefferson. Our conference is great. I mean, top to bottom, I don't think we have weak teams. We just have teams that finish in the bottom of the table. And our top 7, 8 teams are all legitimate playoff contenders. And then 9 and 10 are maybe just on the outside looking in, but they can upset you if you don't show up ready to play. And I think it says a lot that our defending champion last year didn't even make the conference playoffs. And our team that was picked last came in second. So it's a very, very competitive conference, and usually 2 nationally ranked teams and 6 or 7 regionally ranked teams, and that's just quality soccer for us to prepare for.